So this is an Animatic by Carrot Color, and it Animatic is basically storyboards with audio or music, and it recreates a scene from The Long Walk where Abraham here is talking to Garrity and is saying, no help for anybody. Do it on your own or don't do it. And he's basically saying nobody should help anyone else at this point because we're all suffering and we want this to end as soon as possible. So what I'm doing is comparing to the novel. These aren't mistakes, being that this is art, they can do whatever they want, but it's just interesting to see how it differs from the novel. So I'm going to point out one difference is that none of the walkers have canteens or food belts, and this is common in all the fan art that I've seen so far, which is why I created my own fan art. You can check the link in the description. By the way, the wording, I also have a link to all of the differences on my website, and I documented the difference between what they said and what's actually in the book. It's slightly modified. It has to be because Stephen King gets a little wordy, and this needs to get straight to the point. So I get why they simplified it. I've done that for my videos as well. By the way, for a link to this whole thing, check in the description. You can watch the whole thing. It's awesome. By the way, Garrity, McVries, and Barkovich are all wearing camouflage fatigue jackets, but not in this video. They do go to kind of great lengths to maybe do eye color, hair color, and some of the clothing is accurate. I just find it interesting how King never specified if the scar on McVries' face was on the left side or the right side, and you'll see in fan art it's on either side. It's just whichever side is more convenient, I guess. By the way, McVries saves Garrity's life 5 times. I'll also have a link to that page as well on my website where I document all the times that Garrity saved McVries, McVries saved Garrity, and so on. One cool thing is with Barkovich, they did put the number on his collar, is where he put it, so that's accurate. He did have a vinyl rain cap, but I think he lost it early on in the book. The thing is, he died on day 3 about 11 p.m. and this happens on day 5. So Barkovich shouldn't even be in this, and that's actually a common mistake I see in trailers where people represent these scenes on day 4 and 5 and Barkovich is gone, but they'll include Barkovich in it. Garrity has lost his shoes by this point in the book, so this is the scene where his heel is coming off. He and Baker have no shoes at this point. They're just walking in their socks, which are wearing away. This is day 5, and they are like 16, 17, 18, and they're pretty well unshaven at this point, getting pretty fuzzy. Abraham, they make fun of Abraham. They say he looks like Abraham Lincoln with the beard that he's growing. So, and again, fan art doesn't take this into account. They've got their beards going on. So Garrity is pretty bearded by this point, but they're clean shaven in here. Abraham doesn't have a shirt by this point. He had some synthetic which was giving him hives, making him itch, and so he took off his shirt. So he is shirtless at this point. He should have his number on his bare chest. But again, I haven't seen any I've seen a lot of fan art, and none of it has Abraham, or even Scram takes off his shirt because he's too hot. So, but if you check, I haven't done Abraham yet, but I did do Scram sweating without a shirt. The problem with this scene is that Woolman's was on the right. That's where his mother and Jan were. But here it's on his left. So it's like right-left mix-up. What's funny is that there's actually a mistake in the book. At first, it describes Jan as having dark hair. Doesn't say what color. And then later, there's two more times where it describes her hair as blonde, long blonde hair. So that's a mistake in the book. So the sign that the girl held up actually read, "Go, go, Garrity, number 47. We love you, Ray, main zone." So that's a bit simplified there. She must have had a huge sign. It has Baker kind of being obsessed with religion, obsession about death or obsession about religion, and he was really more obsessed with being comfortable after death, getting a lead-lined coffin with a comfy silk pillow. He just didn't want to be disturbed and have his eyeballs eaten out. That was sort of his obsession. And for some reason, I've seen people say that Baker was obsessed with religion or obsessed with death. It's really just him being obsessed with having a comfortable death after he's dead, sleeping quietly undisturbed and not being eaten by rats and things like this. So that was mainly his obsession, having a high quality coffin. So this is accurate. You can see that Abraham on the left has red hair. Good detail. Number 3, Baker has the red and white striped shirt. And McVries has the dark hair. The thing that's inaccurate is McVries and Garrity both had fatigue jackets. Garrity had a faded fatigue jacket. They talk about a conga line when McVries is following Barkovich and Garrity is following McVries. Fatigue conga line. Money to